Hello students, welcome back to our Science and Technology digital class. I hope you all are staying safe in your houses. Let's begin with our next lesson. Can you recall which are the main important life processes in living organisms? Movement, nutrition, respiration, transportation, excretion, control, growth, and reproduction are the main life processes which are going on in all living organisms. All these life processes are necessary for the survival of the organism. Which life processes are essential for production of energy required by body? Nutrition and respiration are the two processes which are essential for production of energy required by body. Students, you have already learnt about respiratory system in the previous lesson. Which are the main types of cell division? What are their differences? Mitosis and meiosis are the two cell divisions. Mitosis occurs in somatic cells and meiosis occurs in germ cells. Mitosis forms 2 daughter cells and meiosis forms 4 daughter cells. Just observe here, you can easily get the difference between mitosis and meiosis. This all we have learnt already in the previous lesson. So students, reproduction is also a very important process. Reproduction does not help the organism to remain alive, but it helps to maintain the continuity of the species of that organism. So, we are going to start with lesson number 3, Life Processes in Living Organisms, part 2. I hope you all are having your textbooks. So, just open page number 22 of your textbook. Just observe here. Cat's young one, kitten, looks same like mother cat. If we sow the mango seed, we will grow mango plant only. So, what do you mean by maintenance of species? That whether the new organism is genetically exactly similar to earlier one that has produced it? Yes. Here, the organism which has developed is same like the parent, but it may or may not be genetically same. So, formation of new organism of same species by earlier existing organism is called as reproduction. So, reproduction is the process of producing offsprings that are biologically or genetically similar to the parent organism. So, reproduction is various important characters of living organisms. It is also important for the evolution of each species, and because of reproduction there is continuity of the species, because all living organisms have limited lifespan, and so for continuing the species reproduction is necessary. What is the significance or importance of reproduction? It enables the continuity of species from generation to generation. It enables species to live generation after generation. Continuation of race and retaining the basic characteristics of species. The offsprings grow, mature, and in turn produce new offsprings and ultimately die. And so reproduction is very important process. Now students, in living organisms, reproduction occurs mainly by two methods, asexual and sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction involves one parent, there is no gamete formation, and offsprings are genetically same as the parents. But in sexual reproduction, there is involvement of two parents, involves gametes, that is formation of male gamete and female gamete, involves fertilization. Offsprings are genetically different from each of the parent. So let's see all these types of reproduction. First we will see asexual reproduction. Process of formation of new organism by an organism of same species without involvement of gametes is called as asexual reproduction. As this reproduction does not involve union of two different gametes, the new organism has exact genetic similarity with the reproducing organism. This is uniparental reproduction, that is involvement of only one parent, and it occurs by mitotic cell division. Absence of generic recombination is a drawback, whereas fast process is advance of this reproductive method. So, these are the various types of asexual reproduction: fission, fragmentation, budding, regeneration, vegetative propagation, and spore formation. So, we are going to see all these types one by one. First type we are going to see is simple binary fission, which is there in amoeba. Just refer your textbook page number 23. Prokaryotes, protist, that is amoeba, paramecium, euglena, and eukaryotic cell organelles like mitochondria and chloroplast perform asexual mode of reproduction by binary fission. Fission means division. Bi means two. The cell divides into two. In this process, the parent cell divides to form two similar daughter cells. Binary fission occurs either by mitosis or amitosis. Axis of fission is different in different animals. Amoeba divides in any plane. Binary fission is usually performed by living organisms during favorable condition, that is availability of abundant food material. So this is given for binary fission. Binary fission is the mode of reproduction in amoeba. In this process, one parent cell is divided into two equal daughter cells, and binary fission occurs during favorable condition, that when there is plenty of food, water, and suitable temperature. Next, we are going to see binary fission in euglena and paramecium. In euglena, the organism divides in vertical plane, which is known as longitudinal binary fission. And in paramecium, the paramecium divides in horizontal plane, which is known as transverse binary fission. Just observe here the picture as well as refer on page number 23, figure 3.3 and 3.4. So, this is also a binary fission, but it is in one particular plane. Next, we are going to see multiple binary fission in amoeba. This kind of binary fission takes place in amoeba during unfavorable conditions. So, amoeba, during this process, what happens? Amoeba stops the formation of pseudopodia and thereby movements. And whenever there is lack of food or any other type of adverse conditions, it becomes rounded and forms protective covering around plasma membrane. Such encysted amoeba or any other protist is called as cyst. Many nuclei are formed by repeated nuclear divisions in the cyst. It is followed by cytoplasmic division and thus many amoebulae are formed. They remain encysted till they are adverse conditions. Cyst breaks open on arrival of favorable conditions and many amoebulae are released. Here amoebulae means daughter cells. So just see here, during unfavorable condition, the amoeba withdraws its pseudopodia and becomes almost round and secretes a hard covering called cyst. Inside the cyst, nucleus divides into many nuclei by repeated division, followed by division of cytoplasm. As a result, many daughter cells are formed. The cyst bursts to release the daughter cells during favorable conditions. Now next we are going to see about budding of yeast. Just refer your textbook page number 24. Just see there the activity. Bring the active dry yeast powder from market. Take 50 ml of lukewarm water in a conical flask. Add 5 gram of active dry yeast powder and 10 gram table sugar to that water and mix well the mixture. Keep the flask in warm place and after an hour take a drop of that mixture on a clean glass slide. Put a cover glass on that drop and observe it under the compound microscope. So under the compound microscope you will see budding of yeast which are moving over here, and the yeast bulges because of warm water, and that shows the budding. So here just see the diagram for budding in yeast. So asexual reproduction occurs by budding in yeast, a unicellular fungus. Yeast cell produces two daughter nuclei by mitotic division so as to reproduce by budding. This yeast cell is called as parent cell. A small bulge appears on the surface of parent cell. This bulge is actually a bud. One of the two daughter nuclei enters this bud. After sufficient growth, bud separates from the parent cell and starts to live independently as a daughter yeast cell. Just mark all these things because it may come as a short note in exam. Next we are going to see about fragmentation. Till now we have seen asexual mode of reproduction in unicellular organisms. Now we are going to see asexual reproduction in multicellular organisms. Fragmentation. This type of asexual reproduction occurs in multicellular organisms. In this type of reproduction, the body of parent organism breaks up into many fragments and each fragment starts to live as an independent new organism. This type of reproduction occurs in algae like Spirogyra and sponges like Cycon. Whenever there is plenty of water and nutrients are available, Spirogyra fragments grow up very fast and breaks up into many small fragments. Each fragment starts to live independently as a Spirogyra fiber. So just refer all this on page number 24, figure 3.7. Next we are going to see regeneration. You may know that the wall lizard breaks up and discards some part of its tail in emergency. Discarded part is regenerated after a period. Regenerated means it develops again on the lizard's body. This is an example of limited regeneration. However, under certain situation, an animal planaria also shows the regeneration. Just see over here, the dotted lines which are shown over here, those body parts may break up and again those parts get regenerated. Planaria breaks up its body into two parts and thereafter each part regenerates remaining part of the body and thus two new planaria are formed. This is called as regeneration. But students, remember that regeneration is not a type of reproduction because there is no development of any new organism from the original one. Next we are going to see budding in hydra. Just observe here the picture. In case of hydra, under favorable conditions, at specific part of its body, an outgrowth is formed by repeated divisions of regenerative cells of the body wall. Just see over here, a small bud grows over there. That bud grows and finally separates from the parent cell and the new hydra forms over there. So what is meant by budding in hydra? In case of hydra, under favorable conditions, at specific part of its body, an outgrowth is formed by repeated divisions of regenerative cells of body wall. This outgrowth is called as bud. Bud grows up progressively and finally forms a small hydra. Parent hydra supplies nutrition to the budding hydra. Budding hydra separates from the parent hydra and starts to lead an independent life when it grows up and becomes able to lead an independent life. Now next we are going to see about vegetative propagation. Now students, what are the parts of the plant? Yes, root, stem, leaf, flower, fruit, all these are the parts of the plant. But out of these, root, stem and leaf are known as vegetative parts. And if reproduction is done by all these parts, then it is known as vegetative reproduction or vegetative propagation. Just observe here picture. First one is underground root, that is sweet potato. Then potato, ginger and onion are the underground stems, and bryophyllum is the leaf. Now all these plants grow by this part. That sweet potato grows by root, potato, ginger and onion grows from its stem, and bryophyllum grows from its leaf. So what is meant by vegetative propagation? Reproduction in plants with the help of vegetative parts like root, stem, leaf and bud is called as vegetative reproduction. Vegetative propagation is performed in sweet potato, radish, carrot by root, potato, onion and ginger by stem, bryophyllum by buds in leaf margin, and sugarcane and grasses by buds. So just refer all this on textbook page number 25. Now next we are going to see spore formation. Now students, you may have seen like this way, that if the stale bread just kept as it is for 2-3 days, it will become dark blackish and on it the fiber like things will grow, and that is nothing but fungus on bread. So take a piece of wet bread or bhakri and keep it in humid place. Fungus will grow on it within 2-3 days. Observe this fungus under the compound microscope. Then you will see like this way branch structure. Now this sporangium contains very minute spores. Just observe here. These minute spores, black color spores, just see on the left hand side here. If this sporangium bursts out, the spores get spread away along with the wind, and whenever they will fall, the new fungus will grow over there. And so here the reproduction takes place by spore formation, and so it is also known as sporogenesis. So these spores germinate in moist place and a new fungal colony is formed. So fungi like mucor have filamentous body, fiber like. They have sporangia. Once the spores are formed, sporangia burst and spores are released. Spores germinate in moist and warm place and new fungal colony is formed. So just refer on textbook page number 25, figure 3.11. So students, we have seen various types of asexual reproduction. They are fission, fragmentation, budding, vegetative propagation, regeneration and spore formation. So just have a quick recap what we have learnt. We have learnt about reproduction and its types, asexual reproduction in unicellular organisms, asexual reproduction in multicellular organisms. So read the lesson thoroughly, mark the important points in the textbook, write the important points from the video. Thank you.